The question whether the new united Germany will be able to play a leadership role in the present or in the future depends very much on the attitudes by which the European Union was founded initially and how it came to be what it is now. And I think it's pretty clear that one of the main objectives of the founders was to put Germany into some international organization. That's certainly what was Monet and people like that wanted. Germany had to be made safe. And that was, I think, what most German leaders actually wanted. And it's very clear that Kohl wanted that. And one of the reasons why I think the Eurozone was put together so hastily and with so many weaknesses in its structure was precisely because Kohl was afraid in 1996, 97, 98 that the Germans, once reunited, would become aggressive again and they might throw their weight around, and he wanted to prevent that from happening. He was a Rhineland Catholic. They had always been in the minority, and he was nervous. And he actually, by putting Germany into the Eurozone and taking away the beloved Deutschmark, which was much disliked, lost the election. And I think he lost the election as an act of civil courage. I saw him campaign in 1994, and I followed the campaign. I traveled with them. And he was absolutely obsessed with the question of whether Germany could cope with unification. It frightened him. And that's one of the reasons why the whole thing was put together so quickly, why the regulations don't work, why the idea that sovereign states can be made to keep their deficits within some fixed percentage just never worked. And there is no mechanism to balance deficits and surpluses. As a result, you have a situation where nobody can get this to work unless they change the machinery. And the only way to change the machinery is to have a conference of all the 19 members of the Eurozone and say we have to find some central banking solution by which deficits and credits can be balanced or at least worked against each other so that you can actually rebalance the whole thing. Until that happens, it's not going to work. And my fear is that with the mounting Euroscepticism, which is in every country, the second or third party from Scandinavia down to Spain is an anti-EU party. The Greeks are going to not be able to meet these obligations, and then the Eurozone will have to decide, do we bend the rules yet one more time, or do we let them go? And if they let them go, and I think that's the way it looks to me like it's going to happen, if they let them go, it'll be a catastrophe, because it will encourage all the people who hate the European Union to say, see, we told you it wouldn't work, and now it hasn't. And I think that would be a catastrophe for Europe and for the world.